What up, what up? It's Raphael with NBA Draft Junkies again, and the prospect I have for you today is Iowa State sophomore guard Tyrese Haliburton. Haliburton is, in my opinion, I have him as a top 10 pick, and if you saw the last mock draft I did, I had him going number 7, and he's a guy that I like. I mean, I like what he brings to the table. I like his versatility. I think that he can actually play with and help a lot of the teams in the lottery simply because he can play the 1 or the 2 and he doesn't necessarily need to dominate the ball. But enough of that. Let's get into why I think Tyrese Haliburton is a top 10 pick. In my opinion, this draft has 3 players who I believe in their primes will average over 8 assists per game and have multiple seasons ranked in the top 10 in assists. LaMelo Ball, Killian Hayes, and Tyrese Haliburton are all oversized point guards with high-level passing instincts. Haliburton has shown he's capable of making every pass, and he does an excellent job of spreading the ball all over the floor. He makes accurate passes with both hands, whether it's on the move, to the roll man, or to the shooter sliding into the open spot on the floor. He has a strong feel for the game and does an excellent job of being patient and letting plays develop. Whether it's pocket passes out of pick and roll, skip passes to shooters, or probing the baseline and firing bounce passes to cutters, Haliburton has all the tools I love to see out of a playmaking guard. Now, I personally believe he was the best passer in all of college basketball this past season. His basketball IQ, awareness, and vision will make him a favorite on the court with his teammates. He posted a crazy 4.46 assist to turnover ratio as a freshman. Now, those numbers dropped to 2.33 assists to turnovers this season as his responsibility increased. But overall, his 3-to-1 assist to turnover ratio in his 2 college seasons is a strong indicator of his decision making and feel for the game.
Tyrese Haliburton has played every second of this game for Iowa State. Condon, one hand.
Haliburton is an excellent shooter when his feet are set. Now, his form is far from textbook as he shoots an unorthodox push shot that has a slow release. However, the shot does go in, and it goes in at an efficient rate. He shot over 42% from 3 in 57 career games at Iowa State. What makes this stat more impressive is the majority of his field goal attempts were from behind the arc. Over 55% of the shots Haliburton attempted in his college career were threes. I personally believe his proficiency as a spot-up shooter will allow him to play off the ball, which makes him an even more intriguing prospect, as teams with established point guards may still be very interested in drafting him to add shooting and ball movement to their offense.
The enemy's pass stolen. He gets it off in time. Got it! Haliburton!
Another area where Haliburton has a major impact on games is in transition. Haliburton has been one of the best in the nation at finishing in transition over the last 2 seasons. He simply just puts the ball in the basket when he's in the open floor. As a freshman, he ranked in the top 95 percentile in transition by converting 66% of his attempts. But it was his adjusted field goal percentage of 76% that really stood out to me. For those that don't know, the adjusted field goal percentage determines the impact of 3-point shooting on a player's field goal percentage. So basically, Haliburton is a threat in transition, running the floor or spotting up for threes. In his sophomore campaign, he topped those numbers with a 76% field goal percentage in transition and an eye-popping 86.9 adjusted field goal percentage. Now, I can honestly say that I have never seen an adjusted field goal percentage number that high in my life.
He'll try a 3, and Iowa State.
I also really like Tyrese Haliburton as a transition playmaker. He's an excellent rebounder for a guard and averaged nearly 6 rebounds per game in his sophomore campaign. Guards that attack the defensive glass and pass the ball ahead will always be viewed highly on my draft boards. I love to see him in an up-tempo offense where he'll have a lot of opportunities to make plays in transition because he's a threat to fill the lane, knock down threes, and he's such a good decision maker. You know that he's going to make the right play, whether it's for himself or for teammates.
Coleman the turnover. Haliburton
Nice feed to Bolton. Williams went for the block.
If you've ever watched some of my other videos on guards, then you know how I feel about the floater. I strongly believe every guard needs a floater in their scoring package to avoid shot blockers around the rim. Haliburton loves to use soft touch finishes in the paint and also has pretty good range on his floater. However, I think he relies on it too much, but that is something I'll cover in another video. But overall, it was an effective shot for him. He converted a little under 45% of his floaters this season and ranked in the top 74 percentile in all of college basketball.
Meaningful game. Haliburton, 8 quick ones.
So you just saw a breakdown of how I feel about Tyrese Haliburton and the things that I like about his skill set and what he brings to the table. This may shock you. Even though I have him going to Chicago on the latest mock draft that I made, I think the team that is a perfect fit for him is the Golden State Warriors. And the reason I say Golden State would be a good fit for him is because I think that he can come in and play the Sean Livingston role. Now, Livingston was more so of a mid-post, post-up guard, but he could also handle the ball, and he was a good decision maker. Well, I think Haliburton could play the same role, but he could be another outside shooter, ball mover, and someone that would fit seamlessly into Golden State's small ball offense. I mean, imagine him coming off the bench and you put him in a lineup with Steph, Clay, or Wiggins, or whoever they bring off the bench, but he can literally play with any of those guys because he's such a good outside shooter, a good ball mover, and a ball handler. I mean, if Golden State has the #1 pick, they're not going to take Haliburton #1. He's a guy that I would consider drafting. Even if I had #1, I'd probably trade down and see if there's a team that really wants to move up and draft LaMelo or Killian or Wiseman or whoever. Well, if I'm Golden State, I would definitely consider trading down to look at Haliburton. He's a player that I believe that can come in and fit their style of play. And outside of maybe Wiseman or Okongwu, I think he would be the perfect fit for their offense. So that's just my opinion. If you agree with it or disagree with it, I'm totally open to hearing your thoughts. But thanks again for checking out my video. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe.